Hello, 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 and welcome to my podcast, Life with Jode, where we talk about anything and everything. On today's episode, if you're not watching via YouTube, you will not see that I am dressed up. Why am I dressed up, you ask? It is my birthday. So on Saturday the 8th of March, when this episode will be uploaded, will be my birthday. I will be turning 26, and I just thought I would do a bit of a fun video where we just talk about birthdays, what they mean to me, what I do, what I've done in the past, what I do for other people, and then hear some stories from you guys as well, because I just love interacting with you and listening to your stories. So we're going to get into it. So what does a birthday mean to me? So throughout the years, birthdays have meant different things. I enjoy the social aspect of it. I enjoy getting the family round. I enjoy getting friends round. I enjoy going out or staying in. It doesn't particularly bother me what I'm doing as long as I'm surrounded by the people that I love. Definitely, just because you have a family member doesn't mean you need to invite them. If you don't get on with them, if you don't see eye to eye with them, if you're not on the same page as each other, just because you're family, you don't need to invite. So I have, over the years, become more conscious of who I want around me, and what kind of vibe I want in my life. And 2025 is the year of pleasing myself, doing what I want to do, who I want to do it with, how I want to do it, along with turning 26 is the year of wanting to surround myself with people that love me back. And whether that be without certain people, then so be it. Gifts have changed now that I have gotten older. When I was younger, I used to expect the big and the best and the bold. Not so much when I was really young, but when I got into secondary school, I wanted to have all the new stuff to fit in with the crowd. So I kind of like expected on my birthday for my mum and family members to gift me extravagant things that were kind of like in on the year that we were in, if that makes sense. The dynamic of gifts have completely changed. So, for example, for Christmas, I asked my mum for a Hoover because our Hoover broke. But before that, it would be like I want clothes or want money for clothes or shoes, jewellery, all that jazz. But that dynamic has completely changed. In regards to kind of like gifts, when I was younger, I used to get the puzzles and the toys and all that, and the baby dolls, the house, the Barbie dolls, like as a kid. Then obviously it progressed. I then turned into more of a tomboy. I did enjoy playing with babies and, like acting out, being a mom type of thing. I think that's kind of like what every child goes through, no matter if they're a girl or a boy. I do believe, depending on what environment you're in, depends on kind of like what you do. And because I grew up around two cousins that were both boys, I would be rather tomboy. A lot of my clothes were more jogging bottoms and football tops and stuff like that, compared to dresses and unicorns and rainbows type of thing. Growing up in the environment that I did, I started to reflect more into the fact of more of a tomboy, more of a not so girly girl, and enjoying getting dressed up in Spider-Man costumes and stuff like that and just dancing around the house. I remember we used to go around to my cousin's house and we used to come downstairs and do little shows for both my mum and my uncle and my auntie, which to this day I can remember coming down butt naked with I think it was something on my head, whether that be a Spider-Man mask or a pull-up on my head. Obviously, I would like to presume it was clean, but who remembers, because I don't. My mum might, but I don't. Anyway, so we're going back onto gifts. Gifts over the years have definitely changed. The dynamic of the gifts have definitely changed. Obviously, when you grow up from a young age, it's more like play and stuff like that. And then when you get to probably like teenager, it's a lot of clothes and money because no one really knows what to buy for you. And I do like the aspect of a gift card or money purely because people's styles change, people's wants and needs change, and to be able to get something that you want, but also have in the back of your mind that someone has actually technically paid for it already, is a good sense of, I want to say love. People might perceive it as something else, but I want to say love because I would much rather go out and buy my own present knowing that I'm going to get what I want and get the size that I need and all that jazz, than receive something that that I didn't want, that I no longer wanted, that doesn't fit me, and go through that whole rigmarole. And I never want to come off as rude. I never want to come off as ungrateful. But it is a bit rubbish when you get gifted something that you don't want, you don't need, or something that doesn't fit you. Definitely, as I've gotten older, gift cards, or just ask me what I want. Just ask. Like this year, I for Christmas I asked my mum for a Hoover. For this year, for my birthday, I've asked my mum for money because I am a year post-op with gastric bypass surgery. I have lost 6.5 stone. None of my clothes fit me. And instead of going to my mum, okay, this is my size, this is kind of like the style I want, this is that, I just say, I understand you want to gift me something, but at the end of the day, I'd rather have the money to buy what I need and not just get gifted something that I don't particularly need or want, if that makes sense. So I feel like growing up has made me a bit more bolshy in the way that I come across to people. And I don't mean it to come across like that. And a lot of stuff gets taken out of context with what I say and how I say it. But if people know me, they understand that it's coming from a good place. It's just I don't express my words great. So, yeah. So, past birthday experiences. This is more on the topic of birthday parties. I was never a popular kid in school, from what I remember, especially in secondary school, it wasn't a thing. In primary school, I had more friends around my house than I did in school, from what I remember. And I don't know if you know or if you've lived in Sheffield for the past 26 years. But next, like near Bramall Lane, there were a indoor play area, soft play. It's no longer there anymore. And from what I can remember, as soon as you walk through the door, you get to this big, massive shark painting on the wall. You go in, and it's this huge, huge play area with, it was a padded kind of merry-go-round, an indoor one. There used to be rope swings and obstacle courses. From what I can remember, I think you even got served food. So I remember that being a very go-to birthday place. And just a trip out, if I'm quite honest. I do remember going there for multiple birthdays. For my 18th birthday, even though I wasn't very popular, I was with someone at the time. I had a couple of close friends. I was still in contact with some people from school who I were friends with, and I threw myself a 18th birthday party. I went to the local working men's club near my house. We rented out the room. I ordered a big extravagant cake. It was because I was so obsessed with traveling. I was doing traveling tourism in college at this point. The idea of just kind of like setting out and exploring the world was something on my mind, I decided to get a big cake that was like a suitcase with different kind of like fondant places that I want to go. I think there was like a ball, which was the world, Eiffel Tower and everything like that. It was a cake and it cost me a lot. I rented out a selfie booth, which to be fair, for the price it wasn't the worst. I also rented a DJ that also came with the club. Like I couldn't find one and they recommended me one. She was lovely. There was karaoke. It was a decent night. To say that not many people showed up, it was a decent night. And then as you do when you're 18, you trot off to town, which is exactly what I did. And I remember not getting as drunk as I wanted to. The guy that I was with at the time, him and his mates were completely hammered, and I wasn't. So I think I went home and they just stayed out, if I'm completely honest. But yes, I went away for my actual birthday. I went to, I believe it was Tunisia for a week. Probably one of the cheapest but also still rather warm places to go at that time of year, as my birthday's in March. Nothing really extravagant got done. The person that I went with at the time didn't really put much thought or effort or even just kind of like mention anything to anyone. So we actually made friends with a lovely woman that was on her own. And she was like, "Oh, what are you guys doing today?" And I was like, "Oh, it's my birthday. We're just going to chill out and stuff like that. I've not really got anything planned." So she actually went to the reception desk, asked them to do something for me. I didn't know she did this. And in the hotel that we had, you had designated seats for breakfast, lunch, dinner. It was the same seats, which was rather convenient, so you weren't trying to find a seat all the time. And I come downstairs for my tea. They had decorated the area that we were sat in, so we were sat next to a window. They had put stuff on the windows. They had put a small bunch of flowers on the table, and it was some sort of dessert. It wasn't a cake, it was a dessert, and it wasn't my cup of tea, so I never unfortunately enjoyed that. And then also the cleaners had decorated the room a little bit with a little card, and I think they also gifted me like a bottle of champagne or something, which was absolutely lovely. So that was an experience that was very thoughtful and very sweet and something that I would love to experience again. And now that I have gotten into the era of vocalizing, I think I love Kyle to pieces, but if Kyle wasn't to do anything like that, I would probably put it in place for myself, because he is someone that doesn't like a fuss made out of his birthday, whereas I am a drama queen. I love a fuss. I love to be centre of attention when it needs to be. Like, it's my birthday. I don't care who knows. I don't care how I'm celebrating it. I want to be flamboyant and all that jazz. So, yes. The first year me and Kyle got together was 2023. So I was turning 24. I had arranged for me, my mum, his parents, and some of my close friends to go to a bottomless brunch. I went all out. I got myself a sash. I got myself a really lovely evening dress off Shein. It was very bold. It was very out there. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I took so many pictures. I felt so amazing. I felt on top of the world. Once we finished bottomless brunch, we went to Manhattan, which is also very photographic, and there is very much photograph scenes purposely put in that place, which is very, very good. Again, more pictures got taken. I think we also went into Yates. At this point, some people started dropping off. Like, my mum went home, Kyle's parents went home, all the parents decided to drop off, which is completely fine. Day drinking sometimes just knocks you out, and I completely sympathise because it does me all the time. I went to Revolution or something like that. I can't remember. and then spending the rest of the evening there. And we went home relatively early, but we had been drinking since like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But that was a very much a fun birthday, getting absolutely pissed out of my head and just enjoying myself and feeling myself. Even though I hadn't undergone any weight loss surgery or anything like that, I chose on that day to not care what people thought and put me first, and that is exactly what I did, and I enjoyed every second of it. Last year, 2024, for my birthday, I unfortunately didn't do anything. This was obviously because I was still in recovery from my gastric bypass surgery. So my 25th birthday was a little bit of a write off. I should have planned it a bit better, but it was more of, I'm going to book my surgery now, because if I don't book it now, it's going to be never type of situation. This year we have a meal planned at a restaurant in Sheffield. Kyle caved and told me exactly where it was and what it is. It is a Japanese sushi type of restaurant where robots come and serve you your food, which is going to be a fantastic experience. He apparently has tried booking this in for ages. Like, you have to book so many months in advance to be able to get a table. So this is going to be a very fun experience, and it is going to be in this dress that I have on right now. I don't know whether it's going to be the best dress because it's very tight fitting. So as soon as I've eaten, I'm going to blow like a balloon, but it is what it is. And then on the 9th, Sunday the 9th, which is going to be tomorrow to you guys, I am going to be jetting off in a plane to Turkey. And before anyone asks, no, I'm not coming home with a boob job. I am just going to go to Turkey, have a relaxing holiday in the sun. I will be lounging about, getting a tan because my pasty skin needs some sun. It's an all inclusive holiday. So I am definitely going to be filming kind of like what I eat in a days. And I'm also going to do a bit of like maybe a bit of an experiment, as you say, of weighing myself before we go and weighing myself when I come back. I'm just seeing if and how much I put on, if I do put on anything. I'm obviously hoping that I don't, but it's inevitable with something like that. Unfortunately, if you know me personally and follow me on Instagram, I am not very well. It clearly looks like I'm fine, but there's a lot of stuff in my body going off, and I'm on antibiotics. And the new antibiotics that I've been put on, I unfortunately am not allowed to drink. So from the dates that they've given it me, I think there's literally the last day that I could potentially drink. But I don't think I'm going to. It all depends. But I'm on an all-inclusive holiday and I'm not going to drink. But I'm not going for the alcohol, I'm going for the sun. So when it comes to other people's birthdays, I enjoy making a fuss. I enjoy going all out. Like I said in my other podcast a couple of months ago, my love language is very much words of affirmation and gift giving and stuff like that. So I enjoy going the extra mile. I enjoy putting thought and time and effort into a present, whether that be bought or making or planning. So I am very much not shy on expressing my love, thoughts, and feelings. So for Kyle's birthday in December just gone, I got up early, I blew up loads of balloons, I decorated the house, and made it a bit of a fuss over him. So because Kyle's birthday was on a Monday, we booked it both off, and because it's near Christmas, we were doing like a bit of a backpacking trip around all the Xmas markets. So we went from our house to his grandparents, and we went to see them for a little bit. We then popped up to York to go see the York markets. From what I can remember, it was a tiny bit of a letdown compared to what I thought it was going to be. Then we decided to, well, I had already booked us a meal in I think it was a French restaurant. Very nice, very lovely. The servers were 10 out of 10. I had put in the booking that it was my partner's birthday. Kyle doesn't like a fuss, so this lovely gentleman got us like some sort of brownie or something, put a candle in the brownie, didn't light it until he got towards the table, put it down, and we didn't bother singing happy birthday because Kyle didn't want that, and blew it out, and then he took away the candle, and he also gifted us some alcohol. I think it was like a glass of champagne or something, which was absolutely lovely. If I could have gone bigger, I probably would have, but due to Kyle not wanting that, I didn't. But when I put my mind to it, I do love to go the extra mile for someone. I do love to make things unforgettable as much as I can. And with Kyle, it's hard because he doesn't enjoy the attention. When I gift buy for someone for their birthday, I do like to ask what they want, unless I know them day in and day out and know what they may need. When it comes to people that I don't really spend much time with, I get a bit stumped. So I always feel like the best way to go about stuff is just ask. If you don't have a clue what they want, ask them. But don't be buying a gift that is half-assed, if I'm completely honest. Sometimes with some of the gifts that I've got in the past from ex-friends, I feel like I may as well have had nothing over what they had bought me, because what they had bought me, I didn't touch. If you ever get stuck with gifting someone something, ask, because that is what I do. I also don't want to feel like I'm wasting my money on something that they are not going to want to use, or not going to use, not going to be able to, you know what I mean. So yeah, when it comes to people I don't particularly know, ask. Or when it comes to people you don't know very much, as in like what they do on a day to day, and you want to gift them something that's going to be worth the while, ask. There's no harm in asking. Gonna touch a little bit on kids. I don't have any kids yet, but I can't wait to have a child. Kyle knows this. Kyle's had enough of me freaking saying it, and he's had enough of me sending bleeding memes and videos of babies. I'm surprised the guy has not blocked me on all social media. But yeah, I can't wait to have kids, and I can't wait to experience the joy of giving my child a birthday to remember. Well, obviously not to a certain age, but you know what I mean, to remember. I have always said the first and second birthday I'm not going to make a massive fuss of. As in, I'm not going to be renting out a big play area. I'm not going to be doing this, that, and the other. I would much rather spend the money and plan something at home with close friends, close family, and do it that way. Make it small, make it intimate. Even do like, I think I even discussed this with Kyle and he completely agreed. Doing like time slots for people and being like, right, okay, you guys come at this time, you guys come at this time, these guys come at this time, and try and also fit it around the baby's nap time, because there's nothing worse than having a grumpy child on their birthday. The amount of friends and stuff that I've seen have their child overstimulated, grumpy as hell because they've missed their nap time. It's, in my opinion, not worth it. It's not worth the money, it's not worth the time, it's not worth that effort. I would much rather, while my child is napping, blow up balloons, make a nice backdrop, decorate something, bake a cake, take pictures at home, have staggered members of the family and friend group come over and at least do that until they're probably about 3. 3, 4 is when I'm going to start changing my views on it and start doing more of like a physical birthday, whether that be a trip out or renting a play area. So yeah, I can't wait to have a child to be able to plan the birthdays, and I want to make a fuss. And I will make a fuss. And Kyle will probably kill me of how much of a fuss I will make, but I don't care. The happiness radiates, and that's what I want. That's what I'm trying to give off at the minute. That's my aroma that I want to build, my mentality. That is what I want to pass on to my future children. I will definitely be probably advocating for what I want for my child for a gift. So this is probably going to be very controversial. If I've already got something for my child, I will make that known to whoever it needs to be known to. And if I want a certain thing for the child and not bought it yet, and obviously birthdays and stuff are coming up, I am going to turn around and be like, this is what we need. Please, would you gift us this? If you can't gift us this, a gift voucher would be lovely, because I don't want to be that person that has a whole entire wardrobe full of clothes and unnecessary things that the child doesn't need. So I will speak up and just make it aware to everyone that this is what we're wanting, this is what we're searching for. If you are unable to fork it out or don't want to buy that, that's fine. Just give us a gift card and we will go and buy what we need when we need it. Very controversial, I feel like I'm going to get hate in the comments, but it's how I want to do it. Everyone has their own way of motherhood. Everyone has their own views on motherhood before they have kids. You never know, my views might change when I actually have my baby. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, moving on to the last segment of the podcast. This is going to be all about you guys. So I messaged into a few group chats that I have, along with a couple of groups I'm in on Facebook, and asking you guys for some stories. I have on my phone some of what people have said. I have Rachel, who messaged me saying, I always have to make sure my hair and nails are done for my birthday. If they aren't, I'm not celebrating. I feel like I agree, but I don't, because the last time I got my hair done was like January. The last time I got my nails done was beginning of Feb. If I had the money, I would have probably done that, but I don't. I feel like I have to be made up, whether that be makeup, hair done, as in not dyed, but just like straightened or whatever. I completely agree in that aspect. She also then leads on to saying, for my kids, they always have their choice of breakfast to start the day. And then she goes, 9 times out of 10, they want to fry up. I love that idea. Giving your kid an option of what they want for breakfast on their birthday. If you've got the time, if you've got the money, if you've got this and that, I completely agree with that idea. It's such a good idea. I'm probably going to steal it for myself. I'm hoping that they don't choose a fry up though. I would love to do like pancakes or something for someone's birthday, but we will see. Rachel also mentions, since her mum has passed away almost 2 years ago, any birthday they have had, for a few days after, they let their birthday balloon up into the sky so Nana can be a part of the celebrations too. And then she goes on to say that her little boy has just turned 5 and had a Spider-Man balloon. He let it up in the air so Nana could celebrate with him, which is the sweetest thing. I would probably never have thought of doing something like that. That is absolutely adorable. The girls from my group chat had got in contact with me. One said they had a funeral for their 30th birthday. I love that idea. Getting dressed up in black, having like a bit of a dark theme. But I also, some of them I've seen are completely dark, which if that's your jam, you do you. But I like the idea of the dark and light So it's like funeral, so goodbye 20s, but hello 30s type of scenario. Very fun. Something that I am definitely probably going to look into when I unfortunately turn 30 in 4 years. Someone else said, I got arrested on my 18th birthday for sticking my middle finger up at a bouncer. And she was also dressed up as a naughty nurse. I mean, you go, girl. Like, completely ballsy. I am extremely kind of like, probably not something that I'd want to do myself. I would not have the balls to do that. I get really bad stomachache when I get in trouble. So, not for me, but for you, definitely. You go. Harriet put in the group chat, me and my school mama friends, we chip in and get a gift and a card from us all, which is a lovely idea, which is 100% a lovely idea. We did that at my last job, at the estate agents. We would chip in for whenever it's someone's birthday. I think it was like £5 each, and we'd get someone probably like an alcoholic drink that we know they're going to like, maybe some sweets and chocolates, and then we'd bring in cakes on the day. No, I think no matter if they were working or not, if I'm honest. And then a bundle of flowers, if that. We tend to normally do that for a girl, not to try and be sexist like, but that's normally what would happen. That is all from today. If you have any ideas, past, present, future, if you have group activities you do for your birthday, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your stories. As I'm talking to you guys and you're listening today on my birthday, I'm going to be out for a lovely meal with my partner, and then I am going to be sunning it off in Turkey, not to rub it in. Again, no boobs when I'm coming back. Just a holiday. No cosmetic surgery this time around. But yes, it was lovely listening to your stories, and it's lovely being speaking to you again. I wish you all the best for the next week. If you have a story, big or small, please don't hesitate to get in contact via email, lifewithjode@gmail.com, or you can message me on my socials, which is at lifewithjode. You can watch my podcast on Podbean, Apple Music, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. I also do a video version over on my YouTube channel, which is Life with Jode. And that's a wrap from me. I'll speak to you in another episode of Life with Jode. Bye for now.